Today we focus on a special aspect of the Xenomorphs, the Neomorph. What is the origin of this terrifying creature? How did it evolve? And where does the Neomorph stand in the evolutionary hierarchy of these aliens? Let's find out together. Are you ready for the unbelievable? Then subscribe now and join us on this journey. The Neomorph was first introduced in Ridley Scott's Alien Covenant. This film, released in 2017, serves as a prequel to the events of the original Alien film from 1979. But to understand the origin, we need to go even further back. In Prometheus, we meet the Engineers, an ancient and advanced race that created life on Earth. These beings played a crucial role in the creation of the Xenomorphs, the deadly creatures we all know, fear, and perhaps love a little bit. The Engineers developed a biological weapon, a black liquid that proves to be incredibly versatile and dangerous. This substance is the key to the creation of the protomorph and is known as black goo. When humans came into contact with this liquid, it led to mutagenic changes and created various monsters. In Alien Covenant, we see how the Engineers used this liquid to alter the original life forms on the planet, eventually giving rise to the Neomorph. The Neomorph in Alien Covenant differs in several ways from the well-known Xenomorph. It has whiter, smoother skin and acts wild and instinctively. Its birth process is more brutal and direct than that of the classic Xenomorphs, making it even creepier. The Neomorph represents only a transitional stage. Over time and through various experiments, especially the tireless efforts of the android David, we witness the transformation of these creatures into the familiar Xenomorphs. One unforgettable scene shows David attempting to emotionally connect with a Neomorph, only for it to freeze before being shot. David is torn inside that this experiment was killed. Obsessed with his own creation and perfection, David plays a central role in the development of the Xenomorph. His experiments ultimately lead to the creatures we know: deadly, perfectly adapted hunters. However, there are many variations of the Xenomorph. Since the Neomorph isn't quite complete, its skin is best described as light and almost translucent, giving it an eerie appearance. In contrast to the Xenomorphs, which have dark, almost black, chitinous skin, the Neomorph appears smooth and wet. Its skin seems almost transparent, hinting at the muscles and veins underneath. The Neomorph's body is slender and muscular, granting it impressive agility and speed. It has long limbs and sharp claws, making it a dangerous predator. Its anatomy is a mix of human and animal traits, making its movements unpredictable and dangerous. One particularly brutal aspect of the Neomorph is its birth process. Instead of a facehugger implanting an egg in a host, the Neomorph bursts directly from the host's body. This process is extremely bloody and painful, making the birth even more shocking but also intriguing. It skips the facehugger and chestburster stages, emerging immediately from its host, advancing its evolutionary speed. The Neomorph displays wild and instinctive behavior. It acts impulsively, without the strategic intelligence seen in later Xenomorphs. Nevertheless, it is an extremely efficient killer, attacking its prey with brutal precision. We can only conclude that David did not continue the Neomorph because it served as a prototype that could not match the refinement and intelligence of the Xenomorph. So the evolutionary step involving the facehugger and chestburster had to be revisited to improve the protomorph. Another noteworthy feature is its mouth. Like the Xenomorphs, the Neomorph has a secondary pair of jaws that strike quickly to grab and kill its prey. These secondary jaws are incredibly strong, effortlessly piercing through flesh and bone. Some theories suggest that they are used to collect samples, such as brain samples from the victim. Upon closer inspection, it appears that this mouth consumes less and extracts more. The Neomorph represents an important evolutionary step connecting the early biological experiments of the Engineers with the later, more advanced Xenomorphs. Everything begins with the Engineers and their black liquid, the black goo. This biotechnological substance is incredibly versatile and can mutate or create new life forms. The Engineers' experiments with this liquid led to the early beginnings of Xenomorph evolution. In Alien Covenant, we encounter Neomorphs, but also a stage known as the protomorph or pretomorph, also created by the black goo. They differ from protomorphs in appearance and behavior. The Neomorphs are wilder and less developed than the later protomorphs and Xenomorphs. The protomorph can be seen as a more advanced form of the Neomorph, the result of further biological manipulation and evolution that eventually led to a more stable and deadly life form. The final evolution, however, leads us to the classic Xenomorphs we know from the original Alien of 1979. These creatures are the result of David's genetic experiments and the continued development of the Engineers' biological weapon. One theory even suggests that the alien queen doesn't quite fit into the original evolutionary process since she lays eggs, a step that wasn't needed in the first stage of the xenomorph. Just a little thought experiment. What if David not only developed the neo and protomorphs further, but also evolved the xenomorph into a birthing queen? It's just a theory, but still exciting to bridge the lore. The evolution of the protomorph shows us how complex and dark the origins of the xenomorphs are. These creatures are not just simple monsters, but the result of thousands of years of experiments and biological manipulation, at least according to the Prometheus series. The Neomorph certainly serves as the link between the prequels Prometheus and Alien, Covenant and the original Alien from 1979. This creature helps us understand the gap between the early biological experiments and the creation of the classic Xenomorph. And yes, not all questions have been answered. The alien universe is as vast and mysterious as it is terrifying. Perhaps we haven't seen the full extent of David's experiments or the ultimate consequences of his twisted fascination with creation. Could there be further evolutions, darker creatures, or more advanced forms of life lurking in the shadows? Through the Neomorph, we begin to peel back the layers of how the Xenomorph species came to be, but so much is left untold. David's role as both a creator and destroyer complicates everything we thought we knew about these creatures. While the engineers laid the groundwork with their black goo, it's David who took the reins, manipulating life in ways even they may not have foreseen. How far did David's experiments go? Did he manage to create other hybrid species beyond what we've seen? What terrifying offspring could still be waiting in the depths of the alien worlds? Alien Covenant hints at the scale of David's madness, but Ridley Scott has left many doors open, tantalizing us with the unknown. And then, there's the haunting presence of the engineers. The enigmatic space jockey from Alien is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. These ancient beings hold the secrets to life and death, and the strange inscriptions, murals, and hieroglyphs we see in Prometheus and Alien, Covenant hint at a history that stretches far beyond our understanding. What do these symbols really mean? Do they tell the story of the engineer's own downfall, or are they warnings for those who dare to meddle with creation? The deeper we dive into the alien lore, the more questions arise. Perhaps the engineers were not the only creators. Could there be even older forces at play in this dark universe? The hieroglyphs seen on the walls of the engineers' temples might hold clues not just about these xenomorphs' origins, but about other terrifying species that could emerge in future films. What ancient rites or experiments were they performing? How does their knowledge of bioweapons, life creation, and genetic engineering tie into the grander scheme of universal evolution? The alien universe is filled with cryptic messages, and decoding them could unlock answers to the origins of life itself. Maybe we can break them down and decode their hidden meanings, giving us further insight into the dark truths of the engineers. Every mural and every symbol holds a piece of the puzzle, connecting the Prometheus timeline to the original Alien saga in unexpected ways. By understanding their language, we might better understand their intentions, their fears, and what led them to create, and ultimately, destroy life. We've answered many questions, but as is often the case with the Alien films, each answer gives rise to even more mysteries. How deep does the engineer's connection to the xenomorphs really go? Are we mere steps away from uncovering more terrifying creatures spawned by the black goo? And what if David, in his relentless quest for perfection, has already set events in motion that will lead to the creation of beings even more powerful than the xenomorphs? As we venture further into the lore of this universe, we find that the line between creator and creation is blurred, and the consequences of playing God are far more dangerous than we ever imagined. Do you have as many questions as we do? Share your thoughts, theories, and mysteries you want us to explore in the comments. Together, we'll uncover the secrets of the engineers, David's experiments, and the next steps in alien evolution. Stay curious, stay vigilant, because in the world of Alien, the more you uncover, the darker it gets. See you soon for more revelations, and remember, the truth is out there, waiting to be discovered.